I want you to think about the last time you told someone about something you were working toward, a goal, a plan, a dream. Maybe it was a new business idea, a fitness thing, a savings target you finally felt ready to hit. And I want you to notice how it felt to say it out loud, because I'm guessing it felt good, maybe really good, like something had already started just by naming it, like saying it made it more real. Here's what I need to tell you. That feeling, that sense of momentum you got from just talking about it, that was the goal dying. In 1933, a psychologist named Kurt Lewin came up with something called substitution. The idea was simple and unsettling. The brain, under certain conditions, can treat a symbolic act, like talking about something, as a partial substitute for actually doing it. For decades, this was a theory. Then, in 2009, Peter Gollwitzer at NYU ran a series of studies that made it undeniable. Here's what happened. He had participants write down personal goals, things they actually cared about. Then he split them into two groups. One group shared their goals with others. The other group kept them private. Then both groups were given time to work toward those goals. The group that shared, they quit sooner. They worked less. And here's the part that should make you stop and think. When asked how close they felt to achieving their goal, the sharers rated themselves higher, despite doing less work. They felt progress they hadn't made. Gollwitzer called it social reality. When other people acknowledge your goal, when they nod, when they say, "That's amazing," when they react, your brain logs that social recognition as a form of completion. Not the whole thing, not consciously, but just enough. Just enough to take the edge off the hunger that was pushing you forward. This is not a willpower problem. This is not a motivation problem. This is your brain doing exactly what it's designed to do: seek social validation at exactly the wrong moment. Let's talk about why sharing feels so powerful, because if you understand this, you'll stop judging yourself for doing it. When you say, "I'm going to start a business," or "I'm saving to leave my job," or "I'm working on something big," and someone responds positively, even just a nod, even just, "Oh, wow, that's great," your brain releases dopamine, the same dopamine you'd get from actually making progress. Your nervous system genuinely cannot tell the difference between the plan receiving approval and the result receiving approval. It just feels the reward. And we are, at our core, social animals. We evolved in tribes where social approval was survival. Being seen, being acknowledged, being validated by the group, those things kept us safe. So the pull toward sharing is ancient and powerful and completely human. The problem is that we're no longer living in conditions where that instinct serves us. We're not trying to hunt as a tribe. We're trying to build individual goals in a world that offers us constant, instant, frictionless access to social validation through our phones, through social media, through people who will respond to anything we say within seconds. The ancient wiring meets the modern world, and the result is that we accidentally reward ourselves for announcing our ambitions instead of executing them. But the neuroscience is only half the story, because there's something else that happens when you share your goals, something that has less to do with your brain chemistry and more to do with other people. Here's a truth that's uncomfortable. Not everyone who smiles at your goal is happy about it. I'm not saying your friends and family are secretly against you. Most of them genuinely love you. But love and support aren't always the same thing. When you share a big goal, especially a goal that would change your life significantly, you're holding up a mirror. And sometimes, what people see in that mirror makes them feel something about their own choices, about the risks they didn't take, the dreams they put down, the life they're still waiting to start. And that discomfort, and whether they're aware of it or not, can come out in the form of, "That sounds risky," or "Are you sure?" or "I knew someone who tried that and it didn't work," or just a look, just a subtle shift in energy that tells you they're not fully on board. Those responses chip away at you, not because your goal is wrong, but because we're wired to weight negative social feedback heavily. One doubtful voice often carries more emotional weight than 5 encouraging ones. This is why so many people share an idea and then quietly abandon it. Not because they lost belief in themselves, but because the social environment became hostile to the goal, even in small, subtle, well-meaning ways. There's a third layer here that almost nobody talks about. When you share a goal publicly, especially repeatedly, it starts to become part of how you identify yourself. You become the person who is starting a business, the person who is getting fit, the person who is saving to invest. And identity is comfortable. Identity is something you can inhabit without having to do anything. You can be the person with the goal without making the uncomfortable decisions that the goal actually requires. Watch how this plays out on social media. People who post the most about their fitness goals are rarely the ones quietly making the most progress. People who announce every step of their business idea often never launch it. The public narrative becomes a substitute for the private work. There's a reason you almost never see the most successful version of someone's journey until it's done. The caption is always, "I've been working on something," not "I am working on something." The reveal comes after the work, not before it. If this is landing for you, if you're starting to see your own habits differently, hit subscribe. We go this deep on the psychology of money and success every single week. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Okay, so we've established that sharing your goals can quietly kill them. But I don't want to leave you with just a warning and nothing to do with it. Because the answer is not just stay silent forever. The answer is more nuanced than that, and it's actually more powerful. The first thing is to distinguish between accountability partners and audiences. An audience is people you tell. An accountability partner is one specific person, ideally someone who has done what you're trying to do or who has a stake in your success. Who you check in with regularly about progress, not plans. That's a completely different dynamic. You're not looking for their reaction to your dream. You're reporting to them on your work. The relationship creates pressure toward action, not comfort from announcement. Gollwitzer's own research showed this. When participants framed their sharing as a commitment rather than an announcement, when the other person knew they'd be checking in on results, the negative effect disappeared. The goal survived. The second thing is to get comfortable with what I'd call the private season. Most of the best things that ever happened to me, and I'd guess most of the best things that ever happened to anyone, started in a season of privacy, a season where the work was happening, but nobody knew about it yet, where the identity hadn't been announced, where the only pressure was internal. That private season is not hiding. It's protecting. You're not keeping it secret because you're embarrassed. You're keeping it close because it's not ready to survive contact with other people's opinions yet. It's a seed. Seeds don't grow faster when you show them to people. They grow in the dark. The third thing is to shift what you share. Instead of sharing the goal, share the process. Instead of, "I'm going to build a business," say nothing until you can say, "I've been building something for 6 months. Here's what I've learned." Instead of, "I'm going to pay off all my debt this year," say nothing until you can say, "I paid off my first card. Here's what it took." You're still sharing, you're still connecting with people, but now you're sharing evidence, not intention. And evidence creates a completely different social reaction, one that reinforces momentum rather than replacing it. Here's the quiet truth underneath all of this. The culture we live in rewards the announcement. Social media is built for the declaration, the launch post, the excited to share update, the vision board, the public commitment. And there's a place for all of that, eventually. When the work is done, or when you're far enough in that outside opinion can't touch the foundation you've already built.